Hey guys, welcome to TGS. Today we got this, a Longthorne Gunmakers Celtic 12 bore. Starting at the back, we have the stock. And this is kind of a hard one because as standard, this comes with medium grade wood. So there'll be a large selection for you to choose from. And this is just one of the many. I've seen a couple here today, and this is a representative example, but you can go darker, lighter, slightly more contrast, slightly more open. On the back, they all come, or they don't all come, they come how you like, but they can come as standard. They do come as standard with a flat checkered butt plate. But you can get a pad fitted if required. Moving on, the selection of grips is vast. This one has a very open pistol grip, but you can get full pistol grip, palm swells, Prince of Wales, straight hand. The world really is your oyster. All the grips on these Longthorns have a sort of slightly different design in that they all drop through the neck, as the stock bolt angle is slightly different to any other gun out there. It looks a little odd. It does look a little odd. However, actually, to mount your hand round and actually get your hand into, it is a little nicer than something with a high thumb rise, because you can really get a hold of this. Your thumb is near on down and touching your mid finger there, and you can get a really good grip on it for something that does not have a palm swell. I've had a palm swell stock here today as well, as equally as nice. The beauty is you can have it made how you want, but the factory set ones are really nice. On this gun, it does not come hand checkered, but the checkering is near as damn good as hand. It's so well done that it's done in a secret way, and I can't tell you how. But you can pay for hand engraving, hand checkering or hand finish checkering if you want. I said this Mystic checkering isn't bad at all. It really is as good as hand done. On the stock you have drop points, and the wood to metal fit is pretty good actually. You have a slight raise around the edge, but everything on this gun is done for strength. So even though it's a side lock, you have a stock bolt hole, and the side locks are completely minimalistic. So when you do take them off, there's a very, very large amount of wood in there for a side lock. Meaning you're not going to have some of the standard over and under side lock things that you might get on a gun that I can't say, that you'll end up with all the head bits breaking around the edge. So it is an extremely strong stock design. The engraving, the Celtic pattern engraving, is really nice. It's completely done by machine, but actually it's so well done. The background has this beautiful texture that runs the full width of it, and the pattern is really nice. Really very, very nice. So you have Celtic knotwork, some dragons, some Celtic roses, and this braiding that runs down the trigger guard. Comes with a silver trigger, although you can get a gold one. This particular one is non-selective, and it is a really hard one to review because there is so much customizable about this gun. You can go for a double trigger if you want, you can go for a selective trigger, you can go for a auto save, you can go for a manual save. Mechanically you can have pretty much whatever you want. I mean, engraving wise you can even customize on top of this. Again, everything comes at a price, but that's fine. At this point I should say that this gun in the standard format is £24,000. So it is a few quid, but for an English made gun, actually it's really very, very reasonable. Be warned though, when you come here for your gun fit, you'll go into a room full of wood where they will probably tempt you. You'll tempt yourself, and they've got everything to burr walnut, exhibition grade walnut, grade 5, 4, 3, but to be honest, there's such a selection even in the medium grade wood that you're not really going to have a problem. One thing that I do find strange, and perhaps it's just the fact that these guns are unconventional. I think it's probably the best way of putting it. They are unconventional, and that's kind of what's beautiful about them. They've taken enough of classic gun making into account to make a beautiful gun, but changed a few things to make them more practical. And although it has no practical purpose, it's quite fit and it's quite thick here in the nose of the cone. But it allows very much for a heavy right-handed fit. It is a custom fitted stock, so that's quite beautiful. However, it doesn't have the finesse and that little inlet that you'd maybe look for there. Even though it makes no practical difference whatsoever, it probably is more practical. But it's a strange thing, a bit like that big drop neck there. Anyway, the forend is on a push button. On the Renaissance guns, it is on a pull lever, and that is particularly delightful. but you have these slightly set forward, not completely boss style, but slightly set forward 4-inch irons. Everything on this gun is machined from single billets of steel, so the action is one billet of steel, the 4-inch is another billet of steel, and the barrels is another billet of steel, with lots of other little bits attached. The ejector system is extremely simple, with 2 little push rods pushing these down to engage with the ejectors there, fairly similar to a lot of other makers. Which is good, because that kind of ejector system works really well. But this is one of the most exciting parts about this gun, the Longthorne barrels. And you've probably heard it from me a few times before, but I'm going to tell you again. They're made from a single billet of steel. You can hit them really hard on stuff and they don't dent. You can put them across 2 blocks and stand on them with 2 people and they will not bend. You can put steel through these with a full choke. They are proofed up to magnum steel with full choke. They are polished to the extreme. The blacking quality is immense. The internal of the bore is polished to 2000 grit. The barrels are exciting. I need to say, where they're made of a single billet of steel, they are supremely accurate and consistent. The only thing that you'll have slightly different is the fact that your point of impact will be 1 inch apart. Not bad really, is it? Not really bad at all. The exciting thing also is they're actually quite hard. So all the side lock guns come with a 3-year warranty. Although we shot the 16 bore earlier, which is one of the original guns that's been out since 2010, that's been shot a fair amount. And the top lever hasn't even sort of settled in, it is still over to the right. And that being that the locking lugs, you just have 2 little lugs that lock in there, and the trunnions there and there. It is a fairly simple thing. Actually, it's not entirely true, because you have 2 drawers here and here as well. So it's not entirely true, actually. I'll take it back. They are a little bit complex, but where the engineering quality is so good, there's no room for it to wiggle. And as such, I am informed, they don't come off the face easily at all. Fore-end. On the fore-end here, you have a semi-beaver tail, although I think there's some dozen styles of fore-end. The wood to metal fit across the top of the iron is very nice, and you have a slight lip on the bottom. That just gives you a double lip there. It's more for aesthetic reasons. However, if you want that to be a perfect wood to metal fit, you know what? You ask them, and they will probably do it. You have a solid midrib. There's no option on that. And a solid top rib on this one as well, which comes checkered. You can have it polished. You can have it completely ribless on the top. You could have it Purdy bridge style, and they're all lovely. They're an 18.6 bore on this gun, so slightly overboard. And although this gun weighs 7 pounds 4, there's something about it and the way that the weight is distributed that just makes it handle like a slightly heavier gun. However, be warned that when I shot it, actually, it's significantly faster than it would be if it was the same balance and feel and if it was heavier. So it takes a couple of seconds to relearn, if you like, after you've done anything else. That said, this is a lightweight 38-inch barrel gun, and one of the cool things about this is the barrel weight on a 30-inch can go from something like 1200 to 1600 grams, so you can really change the amount of weight that you have in these guns by changing the thickness of the rib that you have in the middle, or by changing the barrel thickness, or by just adding weight wherever you want, because it really is a case of these guns are made by a CNC machine and finished by hand. So you just tell the CNC machine what to do with the barrels. The hand finishing guys will hand finish it to the perfect level of whatever you like, and away you go. The final little detail here is you have the polished top lever with the Celtic knotwork across the top there, and you have this beautiful little cut in on that top strap, which is one of those little details that is just perfectly done. And obviously the wood to metal fit across the top there is spanking. So I went into shooting this with an open mind, because I've shot a lot of expensive guns that turned out to be really average, and I've shot a lot of very average guns that turned out to be really, really nice. You never know what you're going to get realistically until you've wiggled it around a little bit. And although you can have a fair guess, and when I picked this up and had a play before we went onto the ground, I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be lovely. But it is really, really nice. It doesn't really kick for a lightweight gun. It smashes clays absolutely lovely. It was extremely versatile, more to the point. I shot skeet, I shot some big loopers, I shot some sort of fast, quick stuff. I shot a bit of everything, and it performed in every circumstance. And yeah, perhaps it moved a little bit less calculatedly than my Maruk, But if I wanted it to, and I remembered not to just put loads of energy into it, it was extremely calculated. As much as the instinctive shots, it was on it. It is a very well thought through and balanced out gun. And tell you what, if you don't like it in this spec, you have a conversation and they'll make it in whatever spec you like. And that in itself, and the fact that it's pretty much bang in the middle of the country here in Northampton, and they will help you out in every regard, has got to be worth an inquiry for anyone in the market for a nice game gun, or even now a top-end competition gun, seeing as they've released the Black Action Sporter. Oh, and they even do these in sporting models. As I say, it's one of my favourite guns I've ever shot. It is one of my favourite guns I've ever shot. It's probably up there in my top 3 in my Maruk. And has a high praise. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you very much for Longthorne for allowing us to shoot it, and let alone play with it and indulge us as much as they have. Take care. Goodbye. It's been brilliant, and I'll see you next time.